Hey YouTube, I'm Tim. I'm currently in the process of joining the United States Air Force. I was recently selected as a Combat Systems Officer, or a CSO, and I'm in the DEP program, the Delayed Entrance Program. Most recently, my recruiter took another CISO and I to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, to have our initial flight class physicals done, or IFC physical done. There are different grades of flight physicals that you have to get certain pilot's license. For a private pilot's license, I think you have to have a flight class 3 physical. As a CISO, you have to have a flight class 1A physical done, and that's what this video is going to be about. I had no idea what to expect going into the physical. There isn't much documentation, no YouTube videos or anything about this kind of physical, so kind of just wanted to give you a rundown of the day. As opposed to MEPS, which is done in a federal building in a large city, initial flight physicals are done on an Air Force base. So our recruiter drove us to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and checked us into our own separate hotel rooms. We dropped our stuff off around 6 o'clock in the evening and decided that we were going to go ahead and go to the enlisted club on base. We had dinner. We actually won the live trivia game they have there every Wednesday night. After dinner, he reminded us that we couldn't eat or drink anything except for water until after we gave our blood and urine samples that Thursday morning at around 8 o'clock. So we had to go a full 12 hours without eating or drinking anything other than water. To be clear, initial flight class physicals are only necessary for rated positions. It's not necessary for non-rated officers to have an initial flight class physical because their jobs aren't necessarily classified as flight-oriented. The actual day of the physical is an early and long day. I think it started around 6:45 in the morning, and we had our last test done, and we were out the doors by 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The day is divided into two areas, Area A and Area B. Area A is the hospital, on-base hospital, where they do some of the tests, and then Area B is the flight medicine department of the base, where they do more in-depth tests. You'll start the morning off at Area A, which is your on-base hospital, at about 6:45 or 7 o'clock in the morning, with a brief orientation with a flight med tech, who goes over the day's agenda with you. Then they'll release you to go to dental, where they take a panoramic x-ray of your mouth. Then you'll go back into the dentist's office, where they'll take cheek x-rays. And one thing to note with dental is that you cannot have any cavities. Then you're off to the lab for specimen collection. One important thing to remember is that you've been fasting for at least 12 hours before they collect your blood, which they're going to take 11 vials of. And they also collect a urine sample. Then you go to radiology for a chest x-ray. After your chest x-ray, you'll move on to Area B. You'll leave the hospital and go to flight medicine at about probably 9:30 in the morning. They'll start you off in a hearing booth where you'll take a hearing test. Then you move on to the first part of two groups of optometry tests. Here they'll measure your visual acuity and your refractive error. They'll also perform the color deficiency test, depth perception, and test for any tropias or phorias. Then you'll go to another room and they'll hook you up with about 10 leads into an EKG. In the next room, you'll meet the flight med physician who will perform the actual flight physical, which is like an extensive sports physical. They'll start off by asking you some social and family history questions like where do you work and if any family members have ever had heart disease, stroke, hypertension, diabetes, seizures, or anything like that. Then they'll ask about how you got any scars and to show any tattoos that you might have. They'll check your blood pressure, pulse, and temperature, your vitals. And then check your reflexes in your elbows and knees and everything. Then they'll do an anal and hernia check. After that, they check for arches in the feet, make sure you're not flat-footed. They'll palpate your stomach, have you lay down and touch your stomach, check for any abnormalities. They'll listen to your heart and breathing, listen to your chest and your lungs and everything. They'll look up your nose, in your ears, in your eyes, and in your throat. And then they'll do what's called the musculoskeletal orthopedic evaluation, where the doctor has you push against whatever he's pushing. So if he's trying to push your arms down, you try to push them back up. Then you move into the second part of the optometry section. Here they'll perform a tonometry test, which is checking the pressure in your eyes, and then they'll do corneal and retinal mapping of your eyes, and they'll also dilate your eyes. It's kind of like opening up a window into your eyes so the doctor can see further in. I hope this has helped you guys understand what an initial flight class physical is for those of you that have been selected as a rated officer in the United States Air Force. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for myself. I was told that I should find out within the month when my ship date is. They said 2 to 3 weeks. I should receive a ship date provided that everything comes back okay, all the tests that I did. So I will let you guys know as soon as I find out. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I can't find the answer, I'll find someone who can give me an answer, and I'll get back to you guys. Thanks.